If I'm on Mixolydian, we would go here. From a scale degree, that would be the 1. This would be the 3. This would be the 5. This would be the 7. From just a distance standpoint, that would be 0, 2, 4, 6. Okay, and then I'm going to delete this out. And then delete. Okay, and then all right. So that means it's going to be 0, 2, 4, 6. And then the Mixolydian from a scale degree would be a 1, 3, 5, 7. Because we would make the 0 or the 5 now the 1. And then it would be the 1, 3, 5, 7. That's a problem because I don't want to make the 5 the 1. Because if I keep it as the 5, then I can name my chord by nodes. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus another 2 goes around the horn to 2, 7, 1, 2, and then to 4, and then to 4. So now I can name the chord by node, 5, 7, 2, 4, Mixolydian, Locrian, Dorian, Lydian. I can't do that with scale degrees. I'd have to learn a completely different numbering system for every scale degree every time I go to a different chord. Whereas if I do this, I could name the chords by location. That is so good that it's amazing how nice that is, particularly on the guitar. Maybe it's not as impressive on a piano. I get it, but I still think it's impressive on the piano, but on the guitar, that's certainly useful. All right, so then what if I add a 5-note chord? What would that normally be called? A G9. Well, the G9 doesn't look like a major chord. Isn't it a major chord? It is a major chord, but they couldn't fit the flat 7 in, so they just basically made up this whole thing, which still means it's a major triad, but it has a flat 7. That's what the number after the letter kind of means, which means they kind of made a Mixolydian naming convention. But it would be better to just name it outright and say, hey, look, this is a Mixolydian 5-note chord. You could call it a 5G4 for the 5-note Mixolydian, but I would call it an XG4, meaning it's the G plus 4 modal half steps from a distance, a 5-note chord. And if it was the tonic, I can make it a capital. This tells me the context of the song. So that would be a Mixolydian. It would start on 0, plus 2, plus 4, plus 6, plus 8. That's how you build it. You go plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, meaning a distance of 2, 4, 6, 8. If we look at it from a scale degree, we would make this the 1, the 5 would be made the 1, and then everything would be off by 1. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Why do we have a 9? Because the 9 is equivalent to the 2. So let's count it out. So now we've got this, we're going to say Mixolydian from a scale degree, 1, 3, 5, 9, and then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, forgot how to count, and the Aeolian is equivalent to the 2. 9 is equivalent to the 2. From a distance standpoint, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 distance. All right, delete. All right, okay, back on over. All right, so that means if I don't make that the 1 but keep it as a 5, then I can say it's 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2, 7, 1, 2, because there's only 7 nodes, plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So then it would be from a Nashville number system, I can name it. It's a 5, 7, 2, 4, 6. That's what you would hold down. Hold down the Mixolydian, Locrian, Dorian, Lydian, and Aeolian nodes, and you got it. What about if it was a 6-note chord? So now they're going to call it a G11. That doesn't look like a major chord. Well, it still has a major triad, but the 7 wasn't major, so now they put the 7 in there. So this basically means it's like the major, but it has a flat 7, which means it's basically the Mixolydian intervals. It would be easier if you just say it's the Mixolydian intervals. This is going to be an XG5 or a 5G5 if you want to use a Nashville number system. And then you can make it a capital XG5. So now we go up to 11. So it would be from Mixolydian, just from a scale degree, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11 is equivalent to the 4 from a distance standpoint, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so let's delete this. And okay, let's go back on over. And we're gonna go, okay. So then, wait a sec, this is messed up. Okay. So now we've got, it's going to be the 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then from a scale degree, if we make that the 1, it would be a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. The 9 and 11 equivalent to the 2 and the 4. But I don't want to make that the 1. I want to keep it as the 5, because then I can name all of the points that I have to hold down. It would be 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 around the horn to 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 7, back to 1 again, back to 1. So it would be 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 1, or Mixolydian, Locrian, Dorian, Lydian, Aeolian, Ionian. Hopefully I got that right. Is that right? 5, 6, 7, 7, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So, all right. So let's go to the next one. What if it was a 7-note chord? So once again, it looks nice and clean, but it still doesn't fit the convention, right? Because you would think it would be a major chord because it has a major triad, but this basically means that it has a flat 7. So it has the major stuff with a flat 7, which means it's the Mixolydian. We'll get into the intervals later. But again, it would be better if you just named it Mixolydian. So a 5G6 or a XG6, 6 modal half steps from the node you're on, Mixolydian node, which in this case is a G. And if it was the modal center, I can make it capital. So this gives me a little bit more context, and it tells you exactly what is happening. Let's go back on over and count it out one more time. So for Mixolydian, from a scale degree, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is equivalent to the 6. Okay, let's go back on up. I'm an airplane now. I'm an airplane. Okay. So Mixolydian would be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 now, distance-wise. Scale degree then, if we make that a 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. 9, 11, 13 equivalent to the evens, which are 2, 4, and 6 from a scale degree standpoint. But I don't want to make that the 1. I want to keep it as the 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 around the horn gives us 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 around the horn, 7 back to 1, plus 2 is 3. And that means that we would have a giant chord of a 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, which you couldn't hold down on the guitar, but you would drop some in the middle. And if we have a nice clean naming convention, we can then possibly add to it, giving us more detail of how to drop the stuff in the middle. This is clean looking, but again, I don't think it's as contextually clean as this, right? Because it's honest about, we're talking about modes here. This is subtly telling us it's a mode. They kind of snuck it in those blues and jazz guys because they didn't want to use modes for whatever reason. But let's just get explicit and say it's the mode, and then we can add possibly to it some things that we might drop, being more specific about it if it's useful to the context of the song that we're trying to get across.